Hello. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, and we are going to talk a little bit about how great leaders and organizations inspire action, how they do that. Let's start with this. How do you explain when things don't go as we assume? Or better, how do you explain when others are able to achieve things that seem to defy all the assumptions? For example, why is Apple so successful, so great, so big? Why is so innovative? Um, Another example would be why is that Martin Luther King led the civil rights movement? He wasn't the only man who suffered in pre-civil rights in America, and he certainly was not the only great orator of the day. So why he lived that? Why him? And why is that the Wright brothers were able to figure out control, powerman flight when there were certainly other teams who were better qualified, better funded, with more money, I don't know, when and they did not achieve that powerman flight, and why the Wright brothers beat them to it. There's something else at play here. About 1 year ago, I made a discovery, and this discovery profoundly changed my view on how I thought the world worked, and it even profoundly changed the way that I think, the way in which I operate and I do things, the way that I operate, and as it turns out, there's a pattern, and we have to break that pattern. All the great and inspiring leaders and organizations in the world, whether it's Apple, Martin Luther King, or the Wright brothers, that was the example that I used, they all think, act, and communicate. And we will see that communication will be a very important thing. One thing that is very essential and important. The exact same way, and it's a complete opposite to everyone else. All I did was codify it, and it's probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle. Why I call it? Let's show you what is the golden circle. The golden circle, it is why, how, what, but it has an order that will be very important. Yeah. So the most important is why, and you would be that why is the key for a lot of things for be great. So why. Second is how. The last one is what. And always we focus on that, and that's incorrect. We have to change that. Yeah, so this is what I call the golden circle. So this little idea explains why some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others are not. Let me define the terms really quickly. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do. Say 100%. Some know how they do it, whether you call it your differentiated value proposition, or your proprietary process, or your USP. But very, very few people or organizations know exactly why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make a profit. That's a result. It's always a result. By why, I mean what's your purpose, what's your cause, what's your belief, what your belief. Why do you get out of bed in the morning? This is a question that all of we have to make. And why should anyone care? As a result, the way we think, we act. Always we act as we think. The way we communicate is from the outside to in. And what does that mean? That means that first we communicate telling what, from outside to in. We start in what. So, but that is incorrect, and you will see why. It's obvious when we go from the clearest thing, for in this case what, to the first thing. What, first what, then how, and last, that is the most important, is why. But the inspired leaders do the opposite, and the inspired leaders and the inspired organizations all think, act, and communicate from the inside, that is why, to outside. Yeah, inspire leaders. This like common person do, like everyone do. So let me give you an example. Let's think in an example. Yeah, let's use Apple. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They are beautiful design, simple to use, and user friendly. Want to buy one? That don't sound too convincing. If you heard that, like, I don't care. It would be like a common person, a common organization, not the great Apple. That's how most of us communicate, and so that's how most marketing and sales are done, and how we communicate interpersonally. So that's why nobody cares about our ideas or our thinking. Um, we always are saying how we are different or better, and we expect some sort of behavior, purchase a boat or something like that. Here's how Apple really think, how really Apple actually communicates for being this big company. So an example of how really Apple do the things would be, everything would be starting from why, yeah, from the inside to the outside. So it will be starting asking this question, why. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user friendly. We just happen to make great computers. Do you want to buy one? Yeah, that sounds different. Sure, that sounds different. Sure, you will, you will, buy, you will want to buy one. You are ready to buy a computer from me, and I just reverse the order of the information. I just start with why, no with what. So it proves to us that people don't buy what you do. People buy why you do it. Why you do it. The goal is not to do business with everybody who need what you have. The goal is to do business with people who believe what you believe. The goal is not to hire people who need a job. It's to hire people who believe in what you believe. I always say this thing. If you hire people just because they can do a job, they will work for your money. But if they believe what you believe, they will work for you with blood, sweat, and tears. They will work with their heart. So these things do the great leaders. If you want to be an inspired leader, you have to do these things. So that's all. Thank you for listening.